Hey everybody, welcome back to Theosophy. This is the whatever number in occult series, and I wanted to specifically talk about Maleficium, which is, I think, a better term for black magic because it's easier to understand. You hear the word Maleficium and you're like, that sounds mean. And that's the deal. So, pretty much any kind of occult practice with the intention of harming someone falls under that designation. Now, classically, this is actually where we get the term for sorcery. So, a lot of people just sort of equate any kind of practice of any kind of magical work with sorcery. But originally, sorcerer referred to someone who was engaging in magic, natural or ritualistic, that the chief purpose was to hurt someone. So hexes and things of that nature. Now you might be wondering, like, what do I mean by including natural? Well, it's kind of interesting because if you think about it, natural magic includes traditional herbalism, pre-modern herbalism, and that includes the manufacture of poisons. So poisoning someone 100% constitutes maleficium, which is weird to think about because that's, as I mentioned before, a lot of modern ordinary religious institutions engage in things that definitely qualify as magic from my definition, which I think is a pretty reasonable one personally, but that's why it's mine. But that also means that certain other things that we regard as relatively mundane in nature, like manufacturing and using poisons, is an act of magic. And for that, I would like to just bring up the sheer number, we're still dealing with it, of birth defects caused by Agent Orange. Agent Orange was a massive campaign making use of modern alchemy chemistry in order to cause tremendous harm to both nature and to people themselves. So, was that an act of maleficium? Was that an act of black magic, of sorcery? I would argue, as mundane as it originally sounds, that that's 100% what the deal was with Monsanto and Agent Orange. A lot of people also don't know that those people responsible was Monsanto. And likewise, a certain other thing that's going on currently with the possible and certainly arguable intention of harming people is that a form of maleficium? I would also make that argument. So anything, and it's important to note that through most of human history, I talk about this a lot, people didn't think so much about the individual as much as they thought of the family and the community, aka the tribe, rather than just a person thinking selfishly. Now we glorify the self. We glorify acting as a personal agent, for whatever it is you want. But really, that to me distinguishes good magic in traditional ancient circles from maleficium, from dark magic, is one is selfish and one is selfless. One is done for the benefit of the group and one is done for the benefit of the individual. And you see this time and time again in stories regarding witches, which is a negative term. It's not, again, all this modern stuff attempts to make that a positive thing. But the reason why it was so negated in pretty much every religious tradition was because a person was trying to harm the group or a member of the group for their own personal benefit. So that's what I think would be a better association, Rorschach word type association. When you think of dark magic and you think of Maleficium, don't think of some robed weirdo conjuring demons, although that certainly qualifies. Think of somebody doing something for their own selfish interest against the interest of the group. Now, put that in perspective with regard to Monsanto and certain modern practices that are taking place that involve poisoning people, whether that's through addictive compounds or something else that I'm not even at liberty to talk about for obvious reasons. Is that black magic? Is that maleficium? Is that an attempt to increase someone's bottom line at the expense of the rest of the world, including their family and community? So that's all I got for this one. It's a little bit of an odd duck out of the series, and it will be weird compared to the subsequent episodes too, but I thought it was really important to just sort of go over the real perspective on what black magic constitutes, because it's a much broader interpretation than what we probably were brought up thinking. So, anyway, that's all I got. Like, share, subscribe, keep asking questions. Bye.